What's up, guys? Swift here, covering everything Chicago Bears, and as much of you already know, I'm a huge NFL draft guy. I have always believed in building through the draft. It's why I'm such a big fan of Ryan Poles. He's set us up very well going forward as far as draft capital. I'm scouting next year's draft harder than ever because we have 2 first-round picks, and it'll be a huge year for this rebuild. There is still a lot of evaluation left to do, but I've been evaluating Caleb Williams and a lot of these top prospects for a long time already. This weekend, we have some big-time matchups featuring some of my favorite prospects in the entire draft. First, let me run down the games I'll be watching, and then I'll talk about each one in detail a bit. The big-time action kicks off right at noon Eastern with one of the biggest college football matchups of the year, number 3 ranked Ohio State hosting number 7 ranked Penn State in a big noon showdown. This game features some big-time prospects on both sides, and it's a game Ryan Poles will be paying close attention to for sure. At 3:30, Tennessee at Alabama should be a very good game with a lot of draft prospects as well. And then the night games feature some really good matchups. I'll be watching both Duke at Florida State and Utah at USC. And then the late action UCLA at Stanford will keep me awake. If you haven't gotten a chance to see Ohio State's Marvin Harrison Jr. yet, today is the perfect opportunity to check him out. He's my favorite draft prospect to watch in this one. He's a generational talent at his position with a dad who is a Hall of Famer. He is my dream pick for the Chicago Bears next year and my number 1 ranked prospect overall, even higher than Caleb Williams, who I'll talk about in just a minute. Ohio State's entire roster is stacked with NFL talent all over. I love watching tape on this team. Some other guys to keep an eye on if you are interested are wide receiver Emeka Egbuka, defensive ends JT Tuimoloau and Jack Sawyer, corner Denzel Burke, running back Travion Henderson, safety Latham Ransom, and a pretty talented offensive line as well. But on the other side, Penn State has 3 phenoms leading the way. Left tackle Olu Fashanu is an incredible left tackle prospect. He's my number 1 tackle in next year's draft and should be a lock to go as a top 5 pick. But the team also has first-round prospects Kalen King at cornerback and Chop Robinson at defensive end. Chop Robinson is a personal favorite of mine. I love his game, and I think he'd be an awesome first-round pick next year. Speaking of edges I like in the first round next year, though, Alabama's edge rusher Dallas Turner is one to watch in the afternoon game. At night, though, I'll be keeping my eye on 4 prospects for the most part. Florida State has 2 of them. First is my favorite edge rush prospect, Jared Verse. He's a versatile and awesome defensive end, and I'll be watching him closely in this one. He's number 5. But then on offense, they have my second favorite wide receiver in the draft. If we miss out on Marvin Harrison Jr., Florida State's Keon Coleman could be an awesome consolation prize. I love his game as well. He's a lock to go in the first round. And then I want to see how Caleb Williams bounces back against 14th ranked Utah. He threw 3 interceptions in last week's loss to Notre Dame, and I'll be watching him closely. And then finally, UCLA has an edge rusher who's flying up my draft board, Laiatu Latu. I want to watch more of that guy. With how important this draft class is, and considering we don't have nearly as many needs as we did last year at this time, I'm going to spend a ton of time scouting these guys. Let me know if there are any prospects you want to see more of. I'll be doing more scouting reports later in the year and into the off season. Stay tuned. Remember to hit that like button for me. And until next time, bear down.